We're live! It's Nando and Jakey. I forgot to plug in my mic, Jake. I'm a jerk. It's your waiver wire show. I'm going to do this. We talk about Denzel Mims and how awesome he could be. By the way, send us your questions. Pop them into the YouTube chat, below this on Facebook, reply on Twitter. We're going to answer a bunch today. I said, Jake, I don't have a lot of questions for the waiver wire. Jake said, people ask questions, man, and I want to answer all of them. So send them in.
The first part.
Jake, why is Denzel Mims not the number one waiver wire priority this week?
Because Jamison Crowder's not done, and Brashard Perriman's not done. You know, if Denzel Mims is the number one, he can be Brashard Perriman, but he's still a rookie who is a big play in a bad offense. So you're really banking on the big play. He's not too dissimilar from the upside of Henry Ruggs, 3 potential targets, 2 potential receptions, and then hopefully a touchdown. But the problem is he's got a worse quarterback, a worse offense.
Jake, that's all we're giving him. Really? He's a second. Well, I guess Henry Ruggs is a first round draft pick.
Yeah. But Denzel Mims is not as good as people assumed he is.
You don't think he's a 7.4 42 every week and possibly a touchdown?
No, I don't think he's going to see 7. And the biggest problem, so he's a big play guy, and the biggest problem about Mims, now, not saying he can't be coached out of this, and there's a lot of time where he's now been in the NFL, could have been coached out of this, but my biggest concern of his in college, and Emory, who I respect more than myself when it comes to college players, agreed with this opinion.
That's Emory Hunt. That's CBS's Emory Hunt.
Yeah, he runs into coverage. He runs into defenders. So stacking is when you build up the separation with the defender. Well, Denzel Mims almost lets the defender stack him. He does like the opposite. So it's going to be a problem, but it's a big play situation. You're going boom or bust. He's a wide receiver 4, could finish top 20, could get you 3 points.
All right. I remember Odell Beckham Jr.'s rookie year.
Not Odell Beckham.
This is also a segue. I'm just saying, like, he's all right. Odell Beckham jumped in with a splash after missing like 7 weeks, and everyone's like, oh, whatever, this guy. It just seems like every once in a while is a dude who shows up, who's been completely written off, who's a rookie, who's a high draft pick, who can just pop in the middle of the season and be like, oh, I forgot about him.
No, Odell Beckham was a complete receiver drafted inside the first half of the first round. Denzel Mims is a boom or bust big play opportunity.
Fine. Here's a question from Nancy in Wisconsin. Is Leonard Fournette relevant?
Yeah, he is. Look, this is Bruce Arians, but Leonard Fournette's the better pass catcher, better pass blocker, better passing game option. This week, game script-wise, would look to be a Ronald Jones game against the Giants. But, I mean, it's Bruce Arians. They brought Leonard Fournette in for a reason. There's the first real game action he's seen in some times, and he was already in kind of almost a 50-50 split. He had more opportunities than Ronald Jones did. So if Fournette ended up getting 65% of the touches, it wouldn't shock me.
Well, I would think that a couple targets would go Fournette's way with Chris Godwin being out too. Fournette might pick up like a little bit of that slack.
But you might not need that against the Giants.
That's true. True, Jakey. I briefly touched on Odell Beckham Jr. and this is going to be annoying. I wrote down Donovan Peoples-Jones as DP-J. This is why I think he's going to have a big game, Jake, because people are going to annoyingly start calling him DPJ, and you're just going to want to just unplug everything for days. But our Cleveland Browns writer, Zach Jackson, brought up Kaderil Hodge, who's been on the IR the last 3 weeks, but I guess is ready to be activated. I trust Zach Jackson has been right about a lot of stuff. You don't hear Kaderil Hodge's name being mentioned with the rest of these, Rashard Jennings. Wow. That's from a while ago. Rashard Higgins.
Oh, Higgins. Yeah, you tricked me. You tricked me.
Wow. I tricked myself, Jake. And Donovan Peoples-Jones to a lesser degree. But, I mean, is this going to be one of those situations where, it's Higgins and, his ceiling's maybe 80 yards and a possible touchdown, and everyone else is just kind of wishful thinking and boomer bust in their own way too?
I think so. I think that if you told me Hodge was healthy, I would take him over Peoples-Jones because I'm a little hesitant on Peoples-Jones. Peoples-Jones is the opposite of a workout freak. It's funny. You watch him and he tests well, and it's not the fact that he tests well and can't put it together as that the athleticism. It's for some reason the athleticism doesn't translate when he's on the field. He's not dominating athletically. It's really weird, and he should. He seems to. Here's a good comparison. You remember Jerry Rice, and everybody always references the fact that he ran a 4.6 40, and that doesn't matter for everything, and play speed matters. Yeah. Donovan Peoples-Jones is somebody who runs like a 4.4, but then when he's on the field, looks like he's running a 4.7. It just doesn't make sense. So I say that not to hate on Peoples-Jones, But because if Hodge is healthy, I would take Hodge over Peoples-Jones. I just don't know how healthy he is. But Higgins would be the first guy. But I think when you said 4 for 80, feels like a good range because this is still Stefanski's offense. You're still going to see Harrison Bryant, who started in front of Njoku last week. And I think
you love Harrison Bryant, Jake.
I do love Harrison Bryant.
That's a Jake special.
He won me some DraftKings money. Had him in a lot of lineups. It was a fun weekend from them. But look at it. There's a great buy on Jock Market, by the way, too, if you could have gotten to that early. It
was a nice plug, Jake. Thank you to Jock Market for sponsoring these, by the way. Shout out Jock Market. It's a fun game. I mean, I feel like sometimes I just say it, but it is a fun game. It's a cool concept.
Yeah, Austin Hooper's out for at least one more week with the appendicitis. And he was
really, I mean, like he was starting
to tick back up.
Yeah, but he was disappointing for a while before that.
Right, but when Nick Chubb got hurt, he started to tick back up because now it's just Kareem Hunt and nobody else. So I think you could get some value out of Harrison Bryant when Austin Hooper's back, at least until Chubb comes back in about 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, let's get some more questions, right? Because this involves a player that I'm very, very interested in. I just traded Zeke for Justin Jefferson. Did I just mess up? There's a PPR league. P Skull 41 still has Josh Jacobs.
And who's the running back behind that? I would say, yes, you messed up. I'm not selling Zeke for that low. I'm actively trying to buy Zeke. I posted, so somebody already asked, actually a couple people, it's a very common player to ask about right now in the waiver column. I said, where would he rank rest of the season? And I gave about 7 running backs that I would take in front of him. But now we have 7 instead of 2 or 3. So he's moved down a little bit. James Robinson I would take in front of him. But I'm not going to sell Zeke right now because you're selling him at bargain basement. That's a bargain basement price. Like I like Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
But you're talking about an RB1 who, if Andy Dalton can come back, they can get a piece or 2 back on the offensive line. Is Zeke back to being top 5? No. But how many running backs can you count on being that involved in the passing game every single week as well? Like that's an underrated aspect of it.
Let me reframe this question for you, Jake. Just maybe a follow-up is a more appropriate term. Is this a deal where P Skull 41 won't lose any value, but you can still get more? Is that how we're looking at it? I mean, like Ezekiel Elliott for Justin Jefferson, switch-wise, just points-wise, value-wise, is that even? What we're saying is you still could have gotten a lot more for, your Zeke.
I think you could have got a lot more, and I don't think the points-wise are exactly the same either. You have to remember, even if you had a running back scoring 15 a week and a wide receiver scoring 15 a week, points-wise, they sync up, but the running back's still going to have more value because it's so hard to find running back. I mean, look how desperate everybody is right now to pick up LaMichael Pirine and DJ Dallas and Travis Homer and all these other, that's because there's no running backs left.
Jake, here's a stat that I was just trying to pull it up. We did it on the podcast this morning with Vaquero. We redid the first round. It was basically going to be in like, who's your top 12 rest of the season? Ezekiel Elliott leads all running backs with 423 offensive snaps. Number 2, David Johnson. Do you know how many he has?
340.
338. You must have looked this up too, Jake.
No, I didn't.
You must have listened to the podcast, Jake. What a friend.
I actually didn't.
Thanks.
There's a reason I do this job.
It's crazy that he has almost like 100 more than David Johnson, and he's kind of on pace for 1,000 snaps. So
and that's what we're talking about. Like, how many running backs can you talk about that? By the reason I did that, 7 times 20. That's why I did. That's why I guessed.
Oh, I got you. That's a good guess. That's right, Kevin S. Man, we're there. We're good. The ship's playing up, man. We can do this. Jake, let's get some more questions.
Yeah, 7 times 20. Hold on. I don't know. I was trying to think 20 per game. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, 7 times 20 is 140.
I know.
7 times 40 is 280.
I was thinking those touches, and then the 340 is why I said the 340.
Whatever. I mean, you were there. You basically guessed it.
I'm trying to explain how I came up with the number.
Let's hit up some questions. This is a humongous trade from BL34. Melvin, Lindsey, Freeman, Gallman go out. Jacobs and AP come in.
Why haven't you done this already?
That's a yes.
Yeah.
Melvin Gordon.
You're getting Josh Jacobs. I'm assuming this is quantity for quality. The best player in the deal is Josh Jacobs.
You're giving up Denver and you're giving up New York for Jacobs and Adrian Peterson, basically.
Adrian Peterson's irrelevant. You're just getting Jacobs.
John Cerveni, only because Shanahan doesn't check the link. Have faith in McKinnon bounce back or roll with Kelly?
Kelly's the safer play, but if it's down to McKinnon and Hasty, I'm going to put McKinnon higher in the rankings. If Coleman's active, I would put Coleman in front of Hasty. Here's all you need to know about this. I just said it on the Pat Mayo show today. Is Nando.
Pat Mayo plug.
Jermichael Hasty had his opportunity in the first game back for Jeff Wilson. He got all of the touches until he got hurt. You're telling me that Shanahan wants to use Hasty? No, because he just had the opportunity to use him and he didn't.
Right.
So that tells me that Jerick McKinnon would still be the guy, despite what we just ended up with was like a bye week for McKinnon.
Still, I mean, at least he explained it away, saying like, yeah, we used him a lot. You know, you're gonna be all right. Make a wish, Jake. Make a wish. Do you wish for a question from Matt Shua?
Sure.
Why do you have 4 eyelashes falling out at once?
I don't know.
Is Cam droppable? You gave him 5 ducks, Jake.
I wouldn't want to drop him, but you can't start him for the foreseeable future.
Let's say it's a 1 quarterback league, and let's say someone better is available.
Carson Wentz is better. Swap. Carson Wentz is still available in a lot of leagues for some because people dropped him and haven't gotten back on board.
Jared Goff?
No.
Gardner Minshew?
Yes.
Daniel Jones?
No.
Yeah, he's running for 80 yards a game, Jake.
Not a game. He ran for 80 yards and fell on his face because
but you know what? The game before, I think he ran for 70 something.
He's still not even a top 15 quarterback because he's not throwing for anything.
I think my scary prediction in our Halloween roundtable was that the Giants are going to go on a 5-game win streak.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Here's a question from Matt. What are your thoughts about Pirine and Moss for a breakout fantasy week?
Look, Pirine is getting the passing game usage, but it's put him on the Giants. It's still a bad offense, a bad offensive line, a bad quarterback, a bad team. The good news is he's involved in the passing game, unlike Frank Gore. I wouldn't call it a breakout, but Pirine needs to be owned.
Yeah, fair enough. How about Zach Moss? I've seen actually a little here and there, a little buzz about Zach Moss, Jakey.
No. Zach Moss is David Montgomery. Got boosted up by these broken tackles in college stuff. And then where you look at it, Zach Moss, he would have to overtake Devin Singletary. And then even if he did, Josh Allen still runs his own number too much inside the 10-yard line. Zach Moss is fine, but I just can't ever see him being more than a flex running back.
Jake, I know you got to go, so we're gonna tighten this up with a couple more questions real quick. How do you feel about that?
That's
or
fine.
do you want to just talk a little more about free agents? I got some names written down here that I scribbled.
I mean, I could quick hit them. That's what the waiver column is for. It has all of them.
That's true. theathletic.com/cheat sheet. Get a special discount on The Athletic if you're not already a subscriber. You get Jake, who's one of the greatest ranker of all time. Brandon Funstun, Fantasy Hall of Famer. Brandon Howard, amazing scout who's writing with us now. Renee Miller, neuroscientist. The list goes on
Your
and on.
boy, Chris Vaccaro.
Your boy, Chris Vaccaro. Jake, here's a question from one Marco Marin. Your favorite Halloween costume and rest of season Moss versus Dobbins.
My new favorite Halloween costume you'll have to see this Thursday.
Yeah, right.
So
costume party on Thursday. Should we invite a guest? Should we invite a guest?
If you want to try. I'll go for the upside of Dobbins. Mark Ingram could play, but if Mark Ingram is out, we might finally get Dobbins time. And if so, he has top 15 potential easily, especially in this matchup, because this shouldn't be one where this should be where they're passing against the Steelers.
Yep.
And Gus Edwards is never used in the passing game.
Yeah, true.
You about to do like some DJ mix sampling over there?
No, you know what it is? I don't like having but I don't know if you're like this. I don't like having both headphones on my ears. I like because you can't hear what you sound like.
I have one and not the other.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I just can never find a place to put this that's comfortable.
So get earbuds like I do.
I don't know, Jake. I like these. They're nice. I got them at Best Buy. I walked into a Best Buy and bought them many, many years ago.
Now brought to you by Best Buy.
Well, I know. I'm just saying, like, when's the last time you walked into a Best Buy?
I banned them from my shopping experience after a couple years ago.
I want to talk about that, Jake, or do you want to get one more question so you can get out of here?
One more question. People don't care about that.
All right. Here's a good one. Teddy or Tua?
I'll chase the upside of Tua. I'm assuming this isn't your starting quarterback. If it is, you can't start Tua right out of the gate. I would wait. But Tua has the upside of what we're seeing right now with Justin Herbert, mostly because not quite to that passing volume, but better legs. And if they trust that his hip is 100%, which I assume they do, if this was the plan all along, because they made this announcement during their bye, then he has the rushing. He basically has the rush. What?
Do it.
Man, no, I'm not doing it. That was you. If you look at it, he has the upside of Josh Allen rushing. And he's got the potential. Actually, he's got Josh Allen's upside this year with the way that Josh Allen's throwing this year, but potentially even more. He's safer with the ball. 87 touchdowns. 11
Diggs. Is Devontae Parker Stephon Diggs?
No, they don't really have a Stephon Diggs.
Right. No one does. He's special.
But Tua might light a flame into Gesicki if he actually uses him more than Fitzpatrick did.
I like that Gesicki scout team quote that everyone's passing around today. yesterday.
Yeah, people are going to go crazy for Gesicki when they see that.
Yeah, right. By the way, if you don't know what we're talking about, Mike Gesicki said that he ran scout team all season, so he's already got a nice rapport going with Tua.
Yeah.
Which is nice. All right, Jake's got to go. He's got better things to do than hang out with us.
No, I don't.
Slumming it. Make sure you come back Thursday. We'll have a little Halloween theme going on. Maybe we'll get a guest. I don't know.
You get to see my mask.
Get to see Jake's mask. I'll have this background still.
Spooky.
I won't take it down for another week. Yeah, Party City, Jake. Look at that. Well, I can't touch it now. It's too far back.
How many places are you going to shout out?
I don't know. I'm not shouting them out. I'm just letting people know. If you want one of these backdrops, that's
Thanks
where you
to
get
Jock Market, Best Buy.
Thanks a lot to Jock
Party
Market.
City.
We love the Jock Market
Energy.
guys. They're cool. All right, yeah. Deer Park.
Deer Park.
Margot's coming back Thursday. There we go.
DJ Nando. See, there you go.
DJ Nando on the 1 and 2s. And finally, DZ Rascal 72. You're just going to have to wait, man. Check out Jake's column. Well, go ahead. I was going to give a nice outro, but go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say it's associated, but it's not dark. I couldn't afford the $300 costume, but it's associated. Hint,
you just talked about how much you won on DraftKings, Jake.
Yeah, because I'm playing with all the high stakes guys.
Thank you all for joining us. If you want more on the waiver wire, check out Jake's column at The Athletic. You can just Google Jake Ciely, The Athletic waiver wire, and it should show up. Coming up tonight after midnight, Jake's rankings. We'll be back on Thursday. On Friday, we got the whole thing where we ask the beat writers questions. That's a good thing. And then Sunday.
Set over.
Yeah, I did. You can notice that, could you, Jake? Oh, got a cup of water. Thank you all for joining us. We'll see you again on Thursday. Toodaloo.